Hi guys, it's Rachel. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. Today's video is going to be a really fun one. It's something I've been meaning to do for a while, and it's another Sims 4 Picks My Makeup video. Last time I did this video where I used my sim self and randomized what makeup look I got a request to do it with base game only makeup, so that's what we're doing today. Sims 4, if you don't know, is a life simulation game, and you can basically customize the heck out of your Sims, which are like your people, including what makeup goes on their face, but within the free base game, because the Sims 4 base game is free if you want to play it without investing anything. There is very limited makeup and a lot of crazy looking things in the base game, which is why a lot of people who play on PC, like me, use a lot of custom content because the in-game makeup is pretty lacking. So it'll be interesting to see what gets randomized, what I have to actually try and recreate on my face. If you're interested to see how that goes, then let's get into it. So this is my sim self. I've removed most of my CC makeup. So now we just have the base game. I do have these hair overlays in here that I forgot to remove, so those are gonna be in the way, along with a few other things. And Google rolled the number 7 for me, so we're gonna randomize it 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that's like a paler top lip and a darker bottom lip. Interesting. Now blush, there's only these 3, so if it lands on one of these 3, I'll roll an extra time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Super bronzy. Okay, yeah, no blush, just lots of bronzer. Let's do eyelashes. I left in my eyelashes because like these base game eyelashes, I couldn't get my lashes to look like that if I wanted to. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, let's do one more. Okay, where's that one? Oh, those are glitching bad. Let's do one more. Or let's just find a pair that's not glitching. Okay, this is the first pair that's not glitching, and it's like a spiky, wispy pair. We'll see if I have anything like this. Now onto eyeliner. We'll roll extra if it lands on one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whoa, 7. Really? I'm gonna veto that. I'm gonna give myself this one veto because that's boring. Ooh, bright purple. Okay, that's fun. Okay, and eyeshadow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we have a very bronzed complexion, a bright pink lip with a softer upper lip and brighter bottom lip, this like hot pink inner lid, and bright purple liner. There's not really any base game face paints that I would want to add to this, so that is the look that I am trying to recreate from base game makeup today. Let's see how I do. Wow, that was a fun look that base game created for me. Maybe I shouldn't have vetoed that black eyeliner, but you know, this will be interesting. I'm just priming my eyes with my MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. And this look feels very like, I don't know, the hot pink and the bright purple seems very like 90s, but like 90s kids, not like cool girl, like brown lipstick 90s, like what they would market for kids in their like neon, like, I don't know, like I grabbed the Paletopoly palette for these colors because like it gives me these vibes. So I'm just priming my eyes. I'm taking a matte fluid eye paint from About Face in La Zona Rosa, and I'm using this to kind of set the shape for that pink jagged piece. So I'm taking it really high, and then just doing these little zigzags. Close enough to being symmetrical. And now I'm gonna take a more detailed brush and just fill in that area. While I'm doing this, I thought it would be interesting to tell you about my current Sims 4 household that I'm playing with. So currently I'm in, I forget, is it maybe Emily's Complete Save File, I think, that I'm playing with. And there was a household in there where there was a single dad and the mom had left because she decided she wanted money instead of motherhood, and she married a rich guy in town and just left her daughter with the father. And so I'm playing with the dad and the little girl, and it turns out the dad has schizophrenia, so it's more complicated than it on the surface seems. And he met this girl that he was like super attracted to, and I was like, man, why is he so immediately in love with her? Turns out she has autism, so they're like both, I mean, not that autism is the same as schizophrenia, but like they're both not neurotypical. So I think that's why they align in that way. But like the first night he went out with this girl that he became infatuated with, because he's like a romantic and family oriented, so he really wants to not only raise his daughter and be a good parent, but he wants someone to share his life with. So he was really infatuated with her. They woohooed on the first date. They initiated that with no protection, and I have risky woohoo turned on, and bam, she was pregnant. And he was like, damn, well, I am a family man. So he proposed. So now he's engaged to this girl who's pregnant, and he has a daughter, and he was unemployed and receiving child support from his baby mama, living in like a very small house. So I talked him into getting a job. The job, I'm getting distracted. The job he got was in the military. I don't know if I should go matte or shimmer. In the picture it looked matte, but I feel like the shimmer fashion would be really cool layered on top of this. So I'm gonna try that. But anyway, so yeah, I had him use the mod that I use for careers to find out what he would be good at, and it recommended that he would be good at the military. So he signed up for the military and is at the basic level of the military, making barely any money, and he needs a bigger place, right? So he can not only have room for him and his daughter, but now his new child or children and his new partner. So he took out a loan because I also have a mod for that. There's literally a mod for everything. He took out a loan and got moved to Newcrest. They were in Willow Creek, but that was also where the ex lived. And she was like getting up in their business. So they're like, let's move just a little bit away. So you're not so far away from, you know, the other parent that it's impossible to co-parent, but just for some space. I think that looks really good, but I think I definitely need to clean up this zagginess on this eye, but we'll set the other eye with the Fashion Shimmer first. Anyway, so they just moved to Newcrest, but he's making so little in his entry-level military job, and his now fiance is unemployed and pregnant, so they just bought basically an empty house with the loan money and have like no furnishings or the bare bones of furnishings and are really struggling. But with the fiance's autism, her special interest is plants. So she has started growing flowers and creating floral arrangements and selling those out of the garage. And yesterday she was so helpful. She made 83 simoleons. Really gonna make a dent in those bills, you know, at that rate, but they're kind of on the struggle bus right now. And there's a lot of drama with the ex because I feel like the ex and him are still really attracted to each other and have strong, like, hot and cold feelings for each other, even though she's moved on and she's married a wealthy older man and he's moved on and is engaged and is having another child. There's still a lot of intense history between those two, and she just keeps showing up. So I'm excited to see where this story goes. I really like letting the game sort of choose its own story and let it play out and see what happens. I don't have a lot of pre-planned stories unless I'm doing like a specific like legacy or something. But I'm just trying to sharpen up this little zag right here. And I was also recently, other than that household, need a makeup wipe. Other than that household, I was also recently playing the Harris household with like Jeb, that kid with the bag over his head, from Eco Lifestyle, because I realized that that family actually has interesting lore already built in. Like, they kind of are a sketchy family and it's really fun to play them. So I used base mental to make it so that the father has like a kind of like basement beer brewing situation going on with the fizz machine, because with base mental the fizz machine can brew beer instead of just pop, and that's been really fun too. Okay, so I took a picture. Looking at the picture, it doesn't look like there's anything going on out here, but it does look like it's really like sharp and clean. So I kind of want to go over the edges with concealer to make it like extra sharp and defined. Let me grab my concealer. Just pulled out my Double Wear concealer, and I'm taking this little eyebrow brush. There, does that look like sharper and cleaner on that side? I feel like it does. So I will repeat and clean up the other side. Something, I have a question for you. If you are a Sims player, are you like a legacy player, like a family gameplay? Like, what kind of player are you? And if you are a legacy player, what is the longest legacy that you've done? Like, do you regularly go through those 10 generation legacies, or have you gone even longer, like the 26? Or, you know, oh, Wow, these shapes are vastly different. I just realized. Let's cover that maybe. Well, I will fix that. But I'm not a super legacy player, but I do have this, what I call the Walk of Fame legacy, that I've been doing for quite a few years now, where I've been trying to get every firstborn daughter in my family to get a star on the Walk of Fame and fill up the entire Walk of Fame. And that, I think one side of the Walk of Fame is like 18 stars, and I have gotten all but one of those stars filled up. Your face not being symmetrical is making I look symmetrical is really hard. This side is always better than this side, I feel like. Oh well, I'm leaving it at that. Yeah, so I have played an entire family to, I'm working on the 18th generation now, but because I've been at this family for so long, the save file, I'm kind of worried about it because I've had several issues with save file corruption. You know, the whole like for rent ruining your saves thing. That's happened to me with a couple saves. So I'm nervous and scared to play in that save that I've been working on for years and years because, you know, what if that one gets corrupted too? Because before I knew about the for rent bug, I'm looking for the perfect liner brush. Before I knew about the for rent bug, I had used for rent in that save. Oh, so I'm gonna take the Suva is out of business, but I have this UV Festival water activated liner palette, and I'm gonna go in with this purple, which is Main Stage, and I'm gonna take setting spray and wet it. Oh yeah, that is the perfect color. Let me reference my picture one more time. Okay, so it's quite the upward turn. Okay, so now to kind of set that down, I'm gonna go in with shoulder pads from the Palettopoly palette. It's very bright purple. This is such a fun and different look that I definitely wouldn't have come up with if I had not randomized this on my sim self. For sure. I got a fresh battery and I put on my skin tint from NYX, and now I'm gonna go in for the super bronzy skin because that was a heck of a lot of bronzer that my sim self was wearing. And I'm going in with the LYS stick bronzer because this is gonna go a long way. I'm trying not to overdo it. Can always put on more, and I can layer powder bronzer on top as well. Yeah, I feel like that was a good amount, and then I'll just layer powder bronzer on top. Real quick, I'm just gonna do a little concealer, again taking the Estee Lauder. I'm gonna take a little of my Dominique powder and just set that down. And now I'm just gonna go straight into powder bronzer with the NYX Buttermelt bronzer and all buttered up, and just this kind of brush. And I'm gonna put it across fully my cheeks like it's blush, because that's what my sim self looked like, is that I was wearing bronzer as blush. I have loved The Sims since it first came out. I grew up without access to a lot of things, like I didn't have TV or a telephone or internet for a long time when I was a kid, but my mom had a friend we went to like some sort of housewarming party or something at her house. So she had a computer and she had the original Sims. This was like the year or the year after it came out. It was like 2001 or something, or 2000. It was like when I was like 10 or 11 or something. And she had that game on CD on her computer, and while all the adults were doing their adult things, we just sat there the whole time, so maybe like hours and hours, and just played that game, me and my sisters taking turns, and it was so much fun. And from that moment I was obsessed, and I honestly don't think I actually got to play The Sims again until I graduated high school and my aunt gave me an Amazon gift card for graduation, and I used that Amazon gift card to buy The Sims 3. So I didn't even get to play The Sims 2, and I didn't even grow up playing The Sims 1 because I only got to play it that one time. But from that one time I played it, I loved it so much, and as soon as I like had the ability to buy a copy of The Sims myself, I did, and by that time they were on the 3rd generation. So yeah, I bought myself The Sims 3 and I loved it, but I didn't realize at the time that there was such an online community around The Sims and that there were mods and all of that. I just love to get lost in the game for hours and hours and hours, and I kind of had to cut myself off sometimes because I could literally stay up all night and not sleep just building and playing and creating storylines. I feel like I need to be bronzier. I don't like being too bronzed, but like that swatch was so bronzy. But yeah, so when I got my computer in 2016, they started making laptops and computers without optical drives. So at that time, because I didn't have an optical drive, I couldn't play my Sims 3 anymore. So then I went quite a while without playing it. I think at some point I did buy or download the digital version of The Sims 3 because I do own it on the EA app. I don't know when or how I did that, but I do own a digital copy of The Sims 3, and so that's the game that I played the most. But then when I worked at the credit union, my friend was really into The Sims, and she told me, hey, you know what, you used to love The Sims, guess what, the base game is free, you should go download it. And then I did, and I had so much fun, and she's like telling me about mods and all this stuff, and introduced me to a whole new way of playing the game, because I didn't even know that those things existed. You know, that was totally foreign to me. Like, I'd had add-ons and WoW and like had mods for games and stuff, but I didn't realize to the extent that The Sims 4 could be modded. I'm gonna take this LA Girl eyeliner in Vivid on the waterline. Yeah, so ever since then, and that was several years ago, I have been obsessed with The Sims 4, and it's only been since I think like 2021, but I have put in like over 3,000 hours of gameplay on The Sims 4. This feels really dry. Come on. There we go. There's the pigment. I had to really like warm it up on the back of my hand, but it is getting a bit older. But yeah, so I have over 3,000 hours in the game. And it's, besides occasionally playing WoW and like Nintendo games on my Switch, it's my main game. And I don't think I would ever create like Sims 4 Let's Plays or content like that. But because it's such a hobby of mine, I do like incorporating it into my makeup channel. But yeah, I don't think I would ever want to turn my gameplay into content, just because it's nice to have some things that are literally just for you and that you don't have to do work on and share with anybody else. Like if you're a content creator, you'll kind of understand that feeling of like it's your passion and your hobby and you love it, but at the same time it can feel like work and a chore and kind of sucks the fun out of it, versus when you were doing it just for you. And I want to keep The Sims something that is like just mine, just for me and just for fun. So I have no problem doing like makeup slash Sims content like this, but yeah, I don't think that I would ever actually do gameplay content. And I have this little area that looks like purple got on it, so I'm gonna take a little bit of that pink paint to cover it up, and then go back into that fashion shade, layer it on top, blend it in. I think this looks pretty accurate so far to what was picked. So I am going to go off camera and do my brows and figure out what lip combo I'm gonna do and find an appropriate pair of lashes, and I'll be back in just a few minutes. But for you, it'll be just a sec. Brows and lashes are on. I did find some like spiky, wispy lashes that I have from Ioni. They're the Wispy Natural Flares 3D Foaming Halfling Lashes. They look like that, and I feel like they suit pretty well. For lips, I'm gonna take the NYX Nude Pink Lip Liner to line. And then I pulled a couple Sephora lip stories for the lip color. I'm gonna start with this one. I think all lip stories are discontinued, but this is number 81. And this is gonna give me that bright color. And then I want to deepen up the bottom lip, so I'm gonna take number 92 Cancer and just dab that into the bottom lip. And this is the finished Sims 4 base game Picks My Makeup. I will pop up right here what the in-game visual looked like, and you can compare to my face right now and see how I did. I think I nailed it, and even though this is like a really out there look, I feel so fun and cute. Like, I like it. The bright colors just make me smile and feel giggly and fun. So I had a lot of fun doing this. If you have any more like Sims 4 makeup videos that you would like to see, I'd love to hear your suggestions in the comments down below, or anything going on in your current game. Like, tell me about your current household. What's the drama? I need the tea. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe if you have not already. I will see you guys next time. Bye!